Hello. Ooh, that was probably really loud. Hello. How's it going? Let's get this party started. Let's move into talk to chat. What a good scene. Hello. It's very bright. It might not actually be that bright. Let me close the blinds a little bit. Oh, let's try that, huh? Let's try that. Whew. Okay. Yeah, that should be pretty good. Um, Let me sound check myself. No one's here, so they'll never know I'm being a goober. Lovely. Oh, lovely, lovely. Okay, good stuff. Um, yeah, we'll see if anybody joins. Um, if not, no big deal. No biggie. We're just gonna be hanging out today. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I've got a little bit of conjunctivitis in that eye. And it's not pleasant, and I'm not allowed to have my contacts in, and I'm not allowed to put any makeup on. And this is what I look like in my glasses. Um and so especially at this off angle, it really makes the distortion really noticeable. Margot says it's cute, but I'm not a fan. So we're not going to wear these unless absolutely necessary today. We might even end up turning webcam off at some point just because like I can really tell that that eye is red, but whatever's good. Yeah, it's Friday. We made it. Um I have some fun stuff coming up today and I have some work stuff coming up today. Hope no one minds. I'm going to eat a banana while we chat. Um yeah, got some work things. I'm headed to my parents' house to do some stuff for my mom's engineering company. And to feed their dog. Uh Ow. So that'll be fun. It'll be nice to see my childhood puppy. She's still kicking. She's, I think, 16, 17. So she's a rusty bag of bones. But she's my sweet little rusty bag of bones. Um, yeah, so I get to go feed Miss Haley and do a couple things, which means we get to be paid. We love that for us. That'll be nice. But for now, until like 2:30, we're just gonna hang out. We're gonna chat. Um, I've had a lot of these discussions with people like Houdin, Steve. You've heard all these people before. Nick. I've been talking to them while I've been doing my Uber deliveries about what the heck am I doing with this channel, right? we get a pretty strong average of 0 viewers every stream we do. No big deal. Takes a long time to build an audience. I think Drew Gooden has a video on that. Streamed for a couple months under like an alternate account. And he got like 0 viewers, 0 subscribers, and excuse me. It's really tough to organically grow on these platforms because they're so saturated, right? Not a big deal. I'm also not trying to make this my full-time job. So I'm not investing any money into the channel. I'm using free tools only. So we're hanging out on OBS. My background thing is just a GIF. Like all of this is either made by me or a free tool. I think the fanciest thing I have going on for my entire stream setup, in terms of like software, is going to be Stream Elements, because that allows for like chat integration and like alerts and stuff. Like here, we can make a fake one. You want to see me make an emulated event, is what they call it on their website. Show me my stuff. Where's my stuff? Elements gallery. No. Show me my stuff. I know. Free widgets. Yeah, I'm using a lot of like free widgets and stuff. Okay, there we go. Oh, / dashboard. I should have known. Let's see if it'll let me into the YouTube one. It's funny because I have them. Oh, will this actually do it? Biscuits. Bananas all done. I'm just gonna put that on my Game Boy in case it can hang out. Fuck it. New overlay. Alert box. Here, you know what? Let's pull this over. Full screen, eh? Position. Isn't there? Yeah, center. There we go. And then height. Oh, undo that. Top. And then if I do this, perks of having 0 viewers. Let's see. Oh, you know what I'm missing? Where did that thing go? There it is. Hello, chat. Oh, wait. Yeah, YouTube chat. Hi, YouTube chat. Let's do that. Copy overlay. We're gonna add one. Call it SE. Paste. Wonderful. And now, check this out. We should be able to make a follower. That's a fake follower, not actually a follower. But the plus side is that now that I have the alerts one. I'm probably like never going to be able to modify it again. That's okay. We're going to hit save. And we're going to go back to overlays. Please still be there. It's not there. It's never there. Is it stuck in my Twitch stuff? Like, what is happening? YouTube alerts. Does it still work for this one? Now we got to watch the replay. Does it actually work still? Oh my goodness, a viewer. Hi, viewer. Hello. Sorry, we're doing technical stuff. I'm so sorry. Welcome. If you're signed in, I'd love to hear from you in the chat. Oh my god, it totally worked. That's crazy. Okay. Good to know that that worked for the YouTube stream, I guess. Wait. I don't know that it worked for the YouTube stuff. Is it actually my YouTube chat? Okay, let's see if that was YouTube chat. Slash. Has that person said anything yet? That person has not said anything yet. Totally okay. Wait, no, we don't want that one still. We don't want that one. We do. I gotta untangle headphones. Hello, person, if you're actually still there. How's your day going? It's Friday. We made it. I've been streaming on Twitch for the past couple streams that I've been doing, so all of my like stream element stuff is set up for Twitch instead of YouTube. So we're doing it live, you know, and I didn't actually expect anyone to be here. I didn't expect anyone to be here, so I thought I could just do tech stuff. I gotta mute my live monitor. Tripping me out. Okay, then I need to add one. Is this gonna be I would like my chat, please. Let's just see. Let's just see for fun. Right? We're just gonna. Wait, can I not do that there? Okay, my bad. Let's just see. Oh, there's banana on my shirt. You're having a nice day. And the emoji's already there. Okay. Send. Does it show up there? It does not show up there. Which means that it's not doing YouTube chat. Rats! Okay, well, then you get to leave. You get to go, and I get to hop into you. And what if we new overlay? We're going to call this one YouTube chat. Add a widget. Stream tools. Stream chat. Okay, I'm going to save. I'm so glad that this viewer gets to watch me do this. This is not embarrassing in the slightest as a streamer. Don't read this. You heard me type it. Okay, did that work for Stream Elements? Maybe. Heck, it did not work. Bummer. That's okay. I guess we just don't get to have a nice YouTube chat. Stream Elements is being very funky about having both like, because this YouTube channel, right? It's not a standalone email address. It's like a thing that you can do in Google where you like add a YouTube channel and it gets like a sub email address. I don't fully understand how it works on a technical level, but what I do know is that it's not like a regular YouTube, like a regular Google account, right? And I think that Stream Elements doesn't like that because I have it set in Stream Elements for my Twitch chat, for my Twitch account and this YouTube account. And it works fine. It works great for Twitch. I have not figured out how to get it to behave with YouTube, with this specific YouTube account. So I am not sure if I need to disassociate it from that one and then just like have this one be its own thing, or what I need to do to get Stream Elements to work. But it's a bummer that it doesn't. So I'm either gonna need to like reverse engineer how to do like a chat overlay with like custom CSS and like all that stuff to like reverse engineer my own stuff here, which I really don't want to do because I don't know how to do it, and it would be a really steep learning curve. Or I need to figure out how to get Stream Elements working. Florp. So that was fun and cool. I would love to know if this one viewer is a random person. If so, super duper welcome. I haven't had a rando in forever. Or if this is one of my friends who got one of my tweets or came in through the Discord. I'd just love to know where you came from to know what worked. But no pressure. Yeah, the plan was to just sit here and chat and mess with Stream Elements, but if we have a person here, like what would you like? Would you like to chat back and forth? Were you just here to observe me? Were you here to hopefully watch me like play a video game? Are you here from the YouTube short that I put up? Because if you're here from the YouTube short that I put up, I can talk more. I can give more TED Talks. I just need to know who you are and what you want from me. What would be really funny is if this viewer is a ghost and is actually just Stream Elements, and I'm talking to a ghost. That'd be pretty good. That would give me a tickle. But that's okay because we're gonna put that back over there. We're gonna put that right back there, and just gonna hang out. Yeah. So what was I talking about earlier? I think I was talking about the goal and everything for this channel, right? So I don't pay for any cool tools. I'm not going to pay for anything. Everything that I already have in terms of hardware is what I'm going to be sticking with until this channel makes me money. And then maybe I'll upgrade some stuff. But otherwise, like, sorry, I'm going to mute this just for a second so that you don't hear banging around. We have a Yeti mic, like just a USB mic, right? And we have this webcam that was gifted to me by my father back when he worked for another company. And then I have, let's see if we can pull it up. Can we pull it up? Can we pull it up? Wait, webcam. Okay. Can I do my other webcam? A video capture device? Yeah, it is. We have this webcam. Stop. look at this guy. Yum! This guy, that guy, I rescued from a trash can at work when I worked full time at a nonprofit. That webcam was destined for the trash because the microphone on it doesn't work so good. That's fine with me. I've already got a mic. So it's set up now as a hand cam for when I play things like Valorant. I used to play Overwatch, so I had that for when I played Overwatch. But that one was rescued from the trash. It's my oh no, why is my what could that possibly be? Yeah, I have a lot of like recycled hardware. Um Stuff that was destined for a trash can that I made my own. I love doing that. I like to joke that I'm like a necromancer for tech or a technomancer. Um I like to take things that were destined for the graveyard and make them my own because I am good with dealing with a little bit of jank. But yeah, so this is just a hobby. I'm not trying to make this a replacement for a job. I'm not trying to make this my primary source of income. Um and it's really difficult to organically grow, right? I think Drew Gooden kind of showed that with his YouTube video where he like did Ninja's masterclass on how to be a streamer and then did the Twitch streaming thing and like didn't grow at all for like the multiple months he was doing it. And I'm not trying to use that evidence as an excuse not to be doing this, right? Like I'm not trying to give up. I'm not trying to be like, "Oh, well, I'll never grow, so I'll never try." I'm not never trying. I'm just there's a lot of people who try really hard to make YouTube a career and they lose a lot in the process. And I really like my life. I really like the people that I have in it and I really like that I feel loved by them and I'm not willing to give any of that up because YouTube isn't my dream. Um right? Like that's just not me. That's not what I have going on. So, we're going to make this here so that it looks like I'm talking to you, right? Instead of off to the side. And the reason that I feel like it's important to kind of bring that up is say that like I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing my Friday streams until something makes it so that that date or time has to change. I'm going to keep trying to post like at least 2 YouTube videos a month, right? And some shorts sprinkled in there because they make the number go up and that tickles me. Um all all cool things that bring me joy. Most important part, they bring me joy. And I think it would be really cool to be able to be in a position to like collaborate with other content creators. I think there's some really cool people that do stuff on YouTube and on Twitch. I think it could be really cool to be able to do stuff with them. I'd love to be able to do that. But I don't need that in my life. Hello. I don't know if you're the same viewer who just popped back in or a new one that showed up right as the previous one left. But it's nice to have you. Thanks for stopping by. We're just chatting about what the heck the goal is. Ah, it was the same person. That dip was a ghost. And those are all very cool things that I'd love to be able to do. But I'm not willing to change the way that I'm investing my time and my energy and like my effort away from things like building my life with my partner, right? Like I'm not willing to give that up to make my YouTube channel bigger. That's dumb. I'm looking for a fulfilling job right now. In the meantime, I'm doing deliveries with Uber Eats and if that doesn't change by like the end of September, then I'm going to have to pick up like a grocery job or something. You know, something where maybe the turnover rate's a little bit higher, but that also means the hiring rate's a little bit higher. And that won't be very fulfilling, but that'll give me income while I do look for something fulfilling, either in tech or in wellness, because I enjoy both of those things and I have skills that I can bring to both of those industries. Um, so that's kind of what's going on there, a little peek behind the curtain type deal. But the point that I've been circling around is that through my conversations with my friends being like, "Hey, like I really enjoy doing this, but it also kind of sucks to have zero viewers because there's no one in chat to like bounce anything off of. There's not even like one person. Except for today. Hey yo, thanks. Thanks friend. Um it can get it can feel like you're doing it for nothing. Which is why I've started turning sections of the streams into bits that I can put onto YouTube because like then at least I did it for something, you know? But the point is that I'm circling around is that if I made a little deal with myself that if I can keep this up for 4 months, so if I can keep this up until 11, what is that? November? November. If I can keep this up through November, then I'd be willing to invest a little bit more time into being a little more active in some of the communities that I'm interested in working with. So if they're a live streamer, maybe being a little more active in their chat. I've seen in some of those communities that smaller creators can have a kind of relationship with the larger creator, the person who's like channel everything belongs to, and they'll either get a special mark either in their live chat or in their YouTube, and like they're kind of a reoccurring side character. You know what I mean? And that is something that I think would be really cool to have. Um, because I feel like there's a lot of people with a microphone that are just putting stuff out there and they're really horrible things to be putting out there that are either misleading people or hurting a lot of people. And I think that you know what, if they can do it, so can I. I also have a microphone, so I might as well be putting stuff out there so that there's just a higher chance there's just one more video out there for that person to stumble across that isn't going to be bad, that isn't going to give them either bad advice or convince them to do hurtful things or whatever the heck, you know? I just feel like, yeah, if these schmucks can do it, why can't I? So here I am. I'm doing it. And I think that that is probably one of the ways that you need to go to be able to achieve growth, right? Is integrating with another community. And so the deal that I made with myself is that if I can do this for 4 months, if I can do this until November, consistently, like if I can keep this up, that proves to myself that I am invested into this at least a little bit. So I should be willing to make an investment into being integrated into a community a little bit more. And then we'll see if the growth happens. Right. But again, the whole like, there's a couple core truths to this no matter how big I get. A, this is not my full time job. Stole that a little bit from Some Ordinary Gamers, Mutahar. I really admire and respect that he is not letting this become his full time thing. Of course, he gets good ad revenue. He's pretty big on YouTube, but he has his day job that pays his bills, and like that's actually his career. I really respect that, and I really like that. I feel like it gives a lot of good separation between um the content that he creates and his life. And I really like that. And I'd like to make that a value of mine as I'm continuing to do this. And I think the second part of that is like, okay, well, if I make it to November, then okay, we'll invest a little bit more time into this in terms of like growing community, like off camera work, right? The second thing is, okay, what if I don't make it to November, right? What if I just stop doing the streams? What if I stop doing the uploads? What if I don't hold up to my end of the bargain, even though I'm both ends of the bargain? What if I don't do it? Well, then, okay. We just keep doing it at this scale. We keep doing it at this intensity. There's no downside to not making it to November. There's not a punishment. That'd be silly. This is for fun. This is for me. But if I do make it till November, then okay, like let's try to make the audience grow a little bit and like however that looks. So schlorp, coffee sip. But yeah, that's gonna be hell to edit. Thank you, one person, for listening to me ramble for 20 minutes now. Let's see if I can make that a little more succinct. A little bite, right? This channel's very small. And by very small, I mean 16 subscribers. And whenever I stream, I average 0 viewers, except today. Thank you so much, person in the audience. And that's not my favorite thing because it's sad when the line doesn't go up, right? But this isn't going to be my full-time job. It will never be my full-time job, which means that if I want it to grow, I need to prove to myself that it's worth putting that effort into. And the deal that I've made with myself is that if I can keep doing this through November, then I will be a little more active in the communities that I want to engage with and the communities that I want to be a bigger part of. I will invest the time into being more active in those communities and try to grow with them, right? That's the deal. That's the deal. And if I don't keep this up through November and I don't try to become a more active participant in those communities that I want to grow with, then we just keep doing this. We just keep doing it at this size, at this scale, and at this pace, right? No big deal. No downsides, no punishments, only upsides. So that's the plan. That's the plan. Good stuff. Happy Friday. I think that was a good succinct way to kind of tie it all up. I think that was good. So yeah, what else are we doing today? Because the one of the like requirements for that deal of doing this through November is doing at least 2 hours of streaming a month. I'd like to do 4. I didn't do 4 this week. Oh my god, not a month, a week. Jesus Christ. 2 hours of streaming a week. I'd like to do 4. I didn't do 4 this week. That's why 4 is not the deal. It's 2. Because 2 hours is how long I stream for minimum, which means that I need to start by 2 p.m. if I'm going to be able to do like start and finish a 2-hour stream before Margot gets home. So those are always scheduled for Fridays. Friday is going to be my consistent day. And then we'll have little bonus days. Like if I'm able to squeeze it in like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, woohoo, then we have 2 streams that week. But in the meantime, the goal is 2 hours a week on Fridays. Because here's the thing is that I think I can keep that up even if I get a job, right? Even if I get a job, I think I can keep 2 hours a week. It probably won't be before Margot gets home, like I like to do, but 2 hours is I think a fair ask, and I think that Margot would be willing to put up with 2 hours of me doing this. Me being locked in this room. I need to turn the fan on. Me being locked in this room, not hanging out with her when we both get home from work. So I think that 2 hours a week shooting for Fridays as the consistent day is something that I can keep up even if I get a job, which is why it's the goal through November. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's what we're doing. But let's no, that's silly. That's silly. Yeah. Oh, my degree came in the mail. I have my diploma, my college diploma. I have my bachelor's. It came in the mail. I'm so excited. Margo and I were talking about getting a frame that has spots for 2. So that we can both be in the same frame because we think that'd be really cute. Uh, because she doesn't have her diploma at work. I know a lot of people that work in like social work and stuff like that. They'll have like their licensed family therapist, like all those kinds of things, all those like higher degrees, they'll have those in their office. Um, but Margot just has her bachelor's. She's had it for she finished in 3 years. She's so quick. She's so smart. Lord. So that's really cool. We want to do a little frame that has both of ours next to each other because we think that'd be really fun and cute. So we're looking at that. But in the meantime, mine's sitting here in the little thing that it was shipped in on my desk because that keeps it safe from getting bent and stuff. But I'm very excited, very proud that I finally have that. It took me. I started in September of 2015, and I finished in June of 2023. So that's 7 academic years, right? 7 academic years because I finished my first year in 2017. No. 2016. I finished my first year in 2016. And I finished my last year in 2023, which would be 7. So it took me 7 academic years to finish that degree, and it took a lot of work. Yeah. It was very difficult. There was a lot of personal stuff along the way. Um, yeah, a lot of personal stuff. A lot of identity stuff. A lot of identity stuff. I think the hardest one to overcome with identity stuff was I was a very good student in high school. Like a very good student. Oh my god. Did the frame rate have to change? Why did the shutter speed change? Hold on. Let me get a little more light in here. How about that? Yeah. Okay. The shutter speed is fixed. It's fixed. Um yeah, so I was a very good student like through high school. Very good student. Hello, welcome back. I was a very good student in high school and middle school, and when I came to college, my grades tanked hard. Hard. My grades tanked hard. I very quickly was put on academic probation, very quickly lost my contract for being able to be an RA. I very quickly failed a lot of classes for like the first time in my life. It was a huge identity crisis, right? Of going from being like, I'm a good student, that's who I am, to I'm failing classes. Good students don't fail classes, you know? So that was a huge, huge identity like shock. The other part of that is that like my first year, like I did fine enough to be able to get an RA contract, which means I wasn't on academic probation. And then my second year, I was an RA, and being an RA became a really integral part of my identity too. That's where I made all of my friends. I didn't make like any friends my first year. I made most of them my second year, and they were all because we were all RAs. And then um I did not receive another contract to be an RA because my grades were too low. Hello, a second viewer. Hello, welcome. It's Friday. We made it. So good to see you. Welcome. We're just talking about my path to getting my bachelor's degree. And so me and my friends were all friends because we were RAs. And so when I didn't get my contract renewed because I was on academic probation, that was that was another blow to my identity. So the first was that like I wasn't a good student anymore, right? Like I was failing classes. That's a huge blow to like identity and like who you are. And then the second was I wasn't an RA anymore. I didn't get a contract. My grades were too bad. So, Nick Houchin. Wow. Hi, Nick Houchin. It's so good to see you. I'm assuming you came from the Discord. Hi. Thank you so much for stopping by. Um, yeah, so that was that was finishing my second year at university, and that was two major blows to my like identity, to like that thing that you hold kind of true about yourself in moments of doubt and stuff like that, and they were both just kind of like ripped from me. No, you. Um yeah, so that was really difficult to like work through and come back from. Moving into my third and fourth and fifth and sixth and finally my seventh academic year. But the way that that kind of looked through my through my third and fourth year is that I was still a full-time student for most of the year. So my first year I was never not a full-time student. Um Full-time means that you're taking at least, I think it's 12 academic units. I think it's at least 12 academic units to be a full-time student. So I was a full-time student for my first year. I was a full-time student for my second year for all three quarters, all three quarters, all three quarters. My third year, I was a full-time student in the fall. I think I took winter quarter off that year to work because I was working retail at the time. I was working at Bed Bath and Beyond, Rest and Piss, Bed Bath and Beyond, and I needed the money to be able to pay for my parking permit and gas and stuff like that going into the next couple quarters. So I worked right on the line of full time while still being a part time employee, so that in the spring quarter, I could drop my hours down and I could kind of like ride off of that cushion that I had built up over the winter. And it worked great. And so I did that for my fourth year as well. And then at the end of my fourth year, the end of 2019, would that be my fourth year? Yeah, at the end of 2019, my longtime partner since high school and I broke up. That was a really big deal. But at the same time, I had a really awesome opportunity to work for the Cal Poly Corporation in their conference and event planning department, which was really cool. They were the link between outside organizations like non-university affiliated organizations and clubs and businesses and stuff like that to be able to use the campus facilities for events. So things like the football field, things like the baseball fields, things like the lecture halls, really cool like science camps for kids, right? It was super duper cool. And I loved working there. We worked over the summer and I got to live on campus. So I finally got to move out of my parents' house again. I got to live on campus for $20 a week, which was killer. So I absolutely jumped on that deal and had a blast. Steve and I both lived on campus that summer. Steve had just graduated, I had not. And we were both working on campus that summer and it was awesome. We were already friends because we had been RAs together, but that was like that bumped us up into the next stage of being friends because I had just gone through a breakup after being together for like 6 years, 5 years, something crazy like that. And so we hung out a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And it was so fun. And then the school year started up and I was back to doing the student thing and I was living off campus. And Margot and I had just started hanging out. Um, and then that year in November, no, what's the one before November? What's 10? October? Yeah, October. In October, we started dating. And then the pandemic hit and I lost my job at the Cal Poly Conference and Event Planning Department. Ooh, sorry about that noise. Because with the pandemic, there were no events being planned. So lost that job real quick. And then Margot and her housemate Jade let me move in at the start of the pandemic. It was a absolute whirlwind. And then Margot and I moved into a studio together in Slow. I tried to do like this really heavy sprint to finish my degree. I was a full-time student for, was it 9 consecutive quarters? 10 consecutive quarters? Something insane, right? Like I was a full-time student in the fall, full-time student in the winter, full-time student in the spring, and then a full-time student in the summer, and then we did another academic year. And I can't remember if we did the summer there again, but I was going crazy. I was not handling it well. It was just too much. And so I ended up just leaving that quarter in the middle of my senior project, just completely ghosting everything. Do not recommend, by the way. Don't do that. Just ghosting everything. And I got a full-time job with a really cool company called Family Care Network. They work with foster families and foster youth and family reunification. Really awesome stuff. That's where Margot still works. And 6 months in, my department got dissolved. So I was in the IT department. There were 3 of us, my supervisor, my coworker, and me. And it was really awesome because it was basically like a paid apprenticeship. I was learning IT stuff like every day. It was awesome. I was having so much fun. And then 6 months in, the entire team got let go, all 3 of us. And it was a surprise, and it was not pleasant. Um, and I tried to find other jobs again really quick after that, and it did not work out. So I said, screw it, we're going to go back and finish our degree. So I hit up my academic advisor. Shout out Anya Bergman. You the truest homie, the homiest homie to ever homie, truly. And she helped me get all my ducks in a row, figure out exactly what courses I needed to take. And I took a bunch through this really cool community college called Foothill University. They're based in the Bay Area, but they also have a really awesome online program. The reason we went with Foothill and not a local community college is because they're also on the quarter system. And Cal Poly, until 2025, is going to be on the quarter system, which means that there are 4 parts to a year. There's fall, winter, spring, and summer. And these 3 are the academic season, the academic term, and then there's summer. And they're all approximately 10 weeks long. And it works really well, except for if you miss like even a day of one of your classes, it is so hard to catch back up. It is so hard to be successful in a course if you miss even one day. Where I know that in a lot of like semester programs, you can miss like a whole week and you can still totally catch up. So there are pros, there are cons. Not here to debate those today about Cal Poly moving off of the quarter system, but they are moving over to the semester system, which isn't actually a semester system. It's a semester academic year. So you have the fall term and the spring term, and then there's summer. And so they still offer summer classes, but they're rushed compared to the rest of the year, right? So it's a weird trimester where the quarter system is actually quarters. I will not back off of that position. Uh, and so yeah, I went back and I went to Foothill and I finished out a ton of GEs. And then when I came back to Cal Poly, Anya Bergman, homiest of homies, homied again, and she helped fill out some paperwork that made it because you're supposed to take a certain, like your last, I think it's like 24, your last 20-ish units you're supposed to take at the university you're graduating from, and I did not do that because of all my Foothill stuff. And so she helped me fill out some exception paperwork, and she had to fill out a bunch of stuff on her end that I couldn't help with. It was a whole thing, right? Like I literally could not have finished without her and without the dean of the College of Kinesiology and Public Health, Dr. Camille O'Brien, who is the coolest motherfucker. She is amazing. She's the best. And they were both integral into me being able to get back in and finish this because I needed to reapply to Cal Poly, and the dean has to approve that. I needed a bunch of exception paperwork signed, so Anya and Camille worked on that. Working with the registrar and stuff, like these people would not email me back, they would not call me back, they would not do any of that. So more than once, Camille O'Brien stepped in and like threw her weight around, and I literally would not have been able to get back into Cal Poly because all of my applications, all of my petitions, all of those things, they all would have timed out because no one would have followed up on them within the time frame that they needed to be followed up on. So without those people, like I literally would not have been able to finish because I wouldn't have been able to get back to be able to finish. And yeah, just they are very, very important people in my life. And that led up to this last academic year, which was fall quarter in Foothill, winter quarter off because I didn't fill out my paperwork in time. That's on me. And then spring quarter was 9 units of 2 public health courses and my senior project. And we crushed it. We crushed it. We got like the best grades I've ever gotten in my entire college career. And it felt so good. And I'm done now. We did it. We're done now. And so I have that. I feel really good. And part of what makes me feel so good about that is that Margot wants to go back and get her master's, right? And that's expensive. She has a lot of money saved up, but she can't pay for school and pay for our rent and our groceries, which means that it's my turn. It's my turn, and I'm genuinely very excited about this. I am so excited. I have been applying to jobs. I've been trying to put myself in the position that Margot has been in for the last 2 years of paying for our entire relationship. Let's not get it twisted. Because I want her to be able to go back to school and commit to it the same way that I was able to. Because I was only able to do that because she paid for fucking everything, right? And I'm so excited for it to be my turn to do that. I am so excited to be able to like enable and empower her to do the things that she wants to do. Which is why it's a bummer that I don't have a freaking job yet. But that's okay, because when I do, it's finally going to be her turn. And like I know that working sucks. It's like it's work, it's not fun, right? That's why they call it work. But I'm so excited to be able to give her what she gave me, right? That like I'm so freaking pumped for that. So yeah, that's the story of how Maddie got her bachelor's and why she's so pumped to send Margot to a graduate program. Yeah, I guess that's there you go. I saw Nick started playing Deep Rock, Rock and Stone. I don't think I'll be joining. I only have another hour of this left to go. And I'm still not sure who that first viewer is. I'm still not sure. But it's somebody and Nick. So thank you both of you. Thank you both of you for being here. It's good to be back on YouTube. You know what? Just for funsies, I want to talk about how I made the YouTube short that just got launched like an hour ago. Let's see if I can go to where are my shorts? There's my shorts. Okay. React content. Hey, it found it. Okay, tight. Can I do this? And then do this? And then do this? Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. So we're here. It's React content time, baby. Here is the short for those of you that have not seen it. We're going to ramble about old video games. And you know what? I've got a real treat for us. We are going to watch a brief video from some really awesome people that are much bigger than me, and they're way cool. So we're going to talk about retro games and preservation. Let's jump into it.
It turns out that the vast majority of video games no longer exist in any meaningful way. That might seem like an alarming thing.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, hey, Nick changed accounts. Hi, other Nick.
Hello.
Are both of my viewers both just Nick? Oh God. Oh God, I hope that's true. Sorry if I blew your ears out. Oh God, that's precious. Yeah, so here's how we made the short. We took basically the intro to the really long video that I just finished making. And we just stacked it up. So this background is a Gaussian blur of the whole frame. And then this webcam view is literally just zoomed in on my webcam. So those are two different layers, right? On top of each other. In terms of the video layer. Video games. And then these are just basic titles. I'm doing all this in DaVinci Resolve. If anyone wanted to do this along with me. So these are just basic text that you put on. So it's a third video layer. You know what? I've got a real treat for us. We are same account, just changed names. Okay, nice. Very good. Are going to watch a brief video. And then, of course, it's Ludwig Lud and Schlatt's Musical Emporium. I grabbed their Animal Crossing, their off-brand Animal Crossing music that it's just playing here in the beginning. And yes, we did try to sync it up with the music a little bit, right? And then this is just a screenshot of the timeline that I did a dynamic zoom in on. Dynamic zoom is one of the base tools in DaVinci Resolve. We did a dynamic zoom into here that shows an hour 32:50, and then I'm making fun of myself and calling it brief. From some really awesome people. And then we just did a freeze frame hold there because there was no need to jump back to my face. That are much bigger than second. Me, and they're way cool. So we're going to talk. Yeah, and so if we go back just a second, it won't let me go back. It was this, because I was talking to chat about getting everything set up. And then now that we're here in this scene, that's this OBS scene that I've now put, right? Like I zoomed in here, that's one video layer, and then I zoomed in here, and that's another video layer, or zoomed in, yeah, in the meat of it, that's one video layer, and then zoomed in on my face, that's another video layer. And then I put on the crop, I did I added some softness to the bottom crop so that it would kind of blend into the video content that we were watching. And then there's again just a text layer. Retro games and preservation. And so yeah, I did try to choreograph the video around like some of those musical notes, like that ding, like those like outlying musical elements. Let's jump into it.
It turns out that the vast majority of video
and then we just slowly fade out the sound.
Games no longer exist.
And fade to black on all the video elements.
In any meaningful way.
All timed like at the same time. And then with this full fade to black, we just put text. Check out the full video link in the description. And then if you check out the description, Pratt, it takes you to the video. So 5 views. That's the highest number of views I think I've ever had on a video. That actually goes crazy. Thank you so much, everyone, for checking out the video. Oh, that makes me so happy. Thank you. But yeah, so that is kind of the behind the scenes for how we turned the meat of that video into the short. An hour 32:50 is a very long video. I recognize that. That is basically my entire last stream. We just watched that video from Bellular News, and I did my commentary on top of it. And I did some things like cut out some like super dead air when I was trying to get like an emulator working. And when I was struggling to find some of my other retro games that I have. I like chopped all of the like super dead air and just moved over to the parts of me talking to try and tighten it up just a little bit. Uh yeah, of course I always recommend watching it like 1.5 times speed. I tried to You'll hear as I especially as I talk in this stream, I'll go to make a point and I'll like sit for a second and try to find the words to say what I'm trying to say. I like try to snip that into shorter stuff sometimes. But yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. It means a lot, and yeah, I felt very clever and sneaky, and that like I always get tons of views on my shorts because short like they'll just feed shorts to like anybody. And so the disparity between my shorts views and my video views is actually kind of crazy. Back when I was making Overwatch content, my Overwatch videos would get like 10, 15, 20 views. And then my shorts would get like 500 views, right? Like a huge disparity in the views there. Um, my video on I'm Back, What's Next has gotten 7 views since the 11th. So 10 days, it's gotten 7 views. I posted a short on the 14th that has 61 views. All right, so the view disparity is huge even for a channel of my size. And so what I did is I dropped the long form video at 10 a.m. this morning. Okay. And I dropped the short at noon. And this is crazy. The full length video has more views than the short, but I didn't expect that. The thing that I did expect was that some of those shorts views would translate into full video views, and maybe, just maybe, if I was streaming at the same time as that short went live, then maybe some of those shorts views could convert into stream views. I feel like that was a cool plan. It has not worked out that way. But that's okay. Maybe those kinds of plans would work really well for other larger content creators. But I don't know. I feel like it's worked out pretty well for me. Just saying. Anyway. Yeah. That was a good fill for the first hour. Thank you so much for being here. This is your friendly neighborhood. This is your friendly reminder for a hydration check. I just finished my coffee, which is not hydration. Coffee is not hydration. Water is hydration. Yay, water. Okay, so we've got an hour left. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? We could. What account am I on? Oh, good, I'm on my main account. Hydrate or dihydrate. So true. So true, Nick. So true. Skate or die. Die, 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 die. Very good stuff. Let's see. What's the plan? What's the plan? Here, I'll let I'll let Nick. Or if this other viewer wants to show themselves, you get to vote. Am I picking another video to do a quick react to, or am I going to ramble about PC hardware? 1 in chat for finding a video to react to, 2 for rambling about PC hardware. Don't get killed by the spiders in Deep Rock while you're voting. Oh my goodness, I have to go get my puppy. So, ha! You have to wait anyway. If you don't vote, that's totally okay. I'll figure something out. I'm gonna go let my dog out. I'll be right back. Oh, hello. I know you can hear me. Oh, but you can't see me. Okay, here we go. We're back. I will eventually need to go get her again, but we shall see when that is exactly. She's probably gonna go lay out in the sun. She loves that. Um. So rambling is good. Rambling is good. Okay. Let's try not to get the most distracted. PC hardware. It's what you play games on. You can also play games on lots of other things. Historically, for a lot of people, that can either start with like the old family computer and you're playing whatever that computer can run. For a lot of like millennials and a little bit older, that's kind of what it started out as for a lot of people, because buying like a video game console, that's a single use machine that's just for playing video games, and that's kind of expensive. So if you have a family computer, because a lot of the world is connected to the internet now, but even then, a lot of families, even with just like a dial-up connection, would still have like a family computer. And those two ways of starting are very distinct in that if you start with a family computer in PC gaming, you're going to have access to a lot of crazy stuff going on. You probably got really into mods. You probably got like pretty invested into like online culture. And if you had a video game console, you got really into video games as distinct from technology. Because if you got really into PC gaming from the start, there's a good likelihood that you had to deal with a lot of stuff with like tweaking your computer, and you probably got like a ton of viruses and stuff like that. And that's just how it goes. But the console gamers, the most that they would have to deal with stuff like that is like port forwarding to improve your NAT type. Good old Xbox 360 gamers. And the biggest difference between a console and a PC is the operating system. Video game consoles, especially starting with like the PlayStation 3, Xbox, well, the Xbox was really special in that it was basically just like a laptop that was running a very cut down version of Windows, a very special version of Windows. That was very special, where video game consoles before that were very like discrete, unique hardware that were not at all like PC. So porting games from console to PC was like a whole process, right? But now, since the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, they've basically just been running AMD APUs, an accelerated processing unit. An APU is just a CPU with a little internal GPU glued on, also known as like an iGPU type stuff. So the hardware differences between a video game console and a PC aren't that big anymore. The most important difference between even like the PlayStation 5 and like an actual like PC that you build yourself or you buy as a pre-built is the unified memory, which is actually more similar to modern Mac computers, everything after the M1 processor, where the CPU and the GPU share RAM. RAM is short for, or an acronym for random access memory. It's volatile storage, meaning that as soon as the power is shut off to it, none of the data is saved. Where your hard drive, your SSD, a flash drive, all of those things, when you cut power to them, they still hold on to the data that's on there. Now, not because it's volatile, it's a very fast, right? Its transfer speeds are very fast. And that leads to its volatility. It's kind of like a pros and cons. Like you have to either hold on to your data really good or be really fast. And that's changing with the addition of like NVMe drives and stuff like that. But historically, RAM is very fast, but it doesn't hold on to something. And storage is very slow, but it does hold on to something. And the CPU uses that RAM to hold on to stuff because CPUs have their own layer of cache, which is their working memory. And for games, the L3 cache is going to be the largest and most important part because that's directly on the die of the CPU, meaning it has the fastest access to it. Which is important when it comes to load times for textures, areas, character select screens, those kinds of things, right? So when you have shared RAM, that means that the GPU, it's not the graphical processing unit. Hold on, because there's a distinction and it's important. Graphics processing unit. So the difference between a CPU and a GPU is that a CPU is very good at sequential math. A GPU is very good at parallel math. And so when you have matrices, it didn't get that at all. So we're going to jump over to the React content. So a matrix, right? A matrix is a bunch of numbers in a set like this, and you can do stuff to them. That's what's cool about a matrix, is that it's a group of things, rows and columns, and then you can set up a bunch of math to happen to them, kind of all at the same time, which is really cool. When you're dealing with matrices, you don't want to do serial calculations. It's going to take you a really long time, especially when that matrix gets really big. Is that now you're doing them one at a time down the columns and rows, and that's going to take a really long time. But CPUs are really good at sequential math. Graphical processing units are really good at parallel math, meaning that they can kind of do all those. They aren't doing all of them in one chunk, but they're able to do like each row, or they're able to do each distinct operation to the matrix in sequence, meaning that you don't have to go through the matrix 8 times. You only need to go through it like twice, right? That's why GPUs are really good at things like crypto mining. That's why crypto mining was done on GPUs, not CPUs, because it's really good at running the same math equation a couple times over all at the same time, which is really important if you're trying to do a lot of math really quickly. And that's what graphics are. Historically, graphics have kind of been like vector based, meaning that there's like a lot of floating points in space. And so that's what partially creates your matrix. And then a bunch of math is done to it. And then you have stuff on your screen. GPUs historically have not needed as much RAM as CPUs do, because we do historically a lot of programs have been written for the CPU. And so the CPU needs to be able to handle a bunch of stuff going on. And when I say that it's juggling things, it's doing things one at a time. So it'll do this process first. It'll do your process for your web browser. And then once it's done with that little process for the web browser, it'll do your process for your file explorer. And then it'll do your process for your sound. And then it'll jump back up to the web browser. And so it can do these things. It juggles them, just like literal physical juggling, where you hold on to something and then you toss it up in the air, and then you grab your next thing that you have to do, and then you finish it and you toss it up in the air. That's what a CPU is doing when it's doing hyper-threading and multitasking, which is different than the GPU doing its multiple strings of math all at the same time. What am I trying to get at? Shared memory allows developers to put the weight of the game in different places depending on the kind of game they're trying to make. If they're trying to make it really, really super pretty, but not that CPU intensive, they can allocate a lot of the RAM over to the GPU to let the GPU just like go crazy, but the CPU doesn't need a ton of RAM to be able to handle a lot of the like NPC processing, all that other stuff that CPUs are going to handle. Which means that you can make a game for the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox. You can make one game that allocates out of its like 8 gigabytes of shared. No. Yeah, it's 8 gigs, isn't it? Excuse me, let me fact check myself real quick. Doop. 16 gigabytes, excuse me. 16 gigabytes of shared RAM. So you can allocate 12 gigabytes of RAM to the video processing and 4 gigabytes to the CPU if it's just supposed to be pretty, but there's not a lot of stuff happening to make the game work. Or the other way around, if you're doing like a real-time strategy game, you can allocate a ton of memory, like let's say 10 gigabytes. Let's say 14 gigabytes, just to be really crazy, over to the CPU, and then only 2 gigabytes over to the VRAM if it's not very visually intensive and mostly uses 2D stuff, right? So you can kind of make it do whatever you want to do because you have all this RAM to put wherever you need to put it to make the game work. With a PC, your specs are what your specs are. Your CPU RAM, I have 16 gigabytes. A lot of people have 16 gigabytes, especially if you're working with like a modern system that was built within the last like 3 years. They're rocking 16 gigabytes of RAM for your CPU. That's more CPU RAM than almost any of the games that are developed for the consoles are going to have access to because it's shared RAM with the graphics. But my graphics card only has 8 gigabytes of VRAM. And so this becomes an issue where these video game developers, and we see this with the Last of Us remake and a bunch of other stuff that's been ported from like specifically PlayStation over to the PC, is that it runs like doo-doo. Why did I say that? It runs like shit. Excuse me. It runs like shit because there's not enough VRAM in your PC. I have a 3060 Ti, which is a very modern card. Unless you jump up to, I think, a 70 or an 80, you're going to be stuck with 8 gigabytes of VRAM, AMD or NVIDIA, right? You're going to be stuck at these like mid-range cards are going to be stuck with 8 gigabytes of VRAM, which means that when the developer allocates 10, even 12 gigabytes of the shared 16 gigabytes of memory on the PlayStation or the Xbox, your computer doesn't have enough. And it's expensive to make developers take the time to optimize a game for PCs where they have less RAM, which is why you keep seeing these games with minimum spec requirements of like a 3080, because that's the only thing with more than 8 gigabytes of VRAM, unless you're getting the 3060 12 gig or very special stuff like that, right? But as a consumer, you can't really increase the VRAM on your card because that's all soldered in. That's all set up in firmware that you don't have access to. It's all closed source. So, what the heck's a gamer to do? Kind of roll over is the answer, unfortunately. There's not a lot that you can do other than get a graphics card with more VRAM. Does that mean that you need to go out and buy a 4090? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The best way as a gamer to get yourself more VRAM is to buy a used GPU. My friend group has been getting really into PC gaming over the past couple of years. At the start of the pandemic, Hayden, Steve, and I were Xbox gamers. We'd roll up, make an Xbox Live party, and play whatever games we were going to play, especially when all three of us had Game Pass. That was a good time. That was a good time. We had a lot of games that we cycled through, a lot of games that we played together. It was awesome. But it got expensive. Got expensive to be paying for internet and paying for Xbox Live and especially Game Pass. That got very expensive. So I said, I want to cut. Oh my God, I'm so sweaty. Hold on. I'm tired of doing that, of giving Xbox money for something that I don't need to be giving them money for. I want to make a gaming PC. And Hayden had a gaming PC for a little while. He built one back in 2019 when he was working for Costco the first time, and it was great. He was having a great time. But he was the only one in the group with a gaming PC, with a Windows computer for that matter. So I had to convince me and Steve to build gaming PCs, and I did, and it was great. And then we rejoined up with Nick. Good to see you in chat. And Nick had just recently built themselves a gaming computer as well. So we all moved over to PC right at like arguably the wrong time, because developers we're running into like this issue that we had back in like 2012, 2015, where games were not being well ported, well optimized for PC. They were just being put out on consoles, and they weren't even that well optimized for consoles at the time either. But all this to say that the hardware isn't that different. The problem is that shared RAM on consoles and on Mac computers versus discrete RAM for either VRAM or CPU RAM in modern gaming computers. And this makes it very difficult to recommend buying a lot of new hardware for PCs, because the bar is so much higher now for what you need to be able to play games. Because buying a used 3060 would be a really awesome idea, because the 3060 kind of rips. Except for the fact that it doesn't have enough VRAM for a lot of modern games that you might want to play. So now you're stuck buying used high-end cards instead of used mid-range or low-end cards. And the reason I keep going back to saying just buy used is typically, I know that was not true during the height of the chip shortage, but typically buying used really good stuff is cheaper than buying kind of shitty new stuff. Are you missing out on DLSS 3? Yes. Are you missing out on like the best possible ray tracing performance? Yes. But don't get sucked into they're called moats, right? The software moat around a lot of those products. And the reason it's called a moat is because once you're in, it's hard to just leave. That I did? I sprung for the 12 gig. Yes. Huge deal, because you have more VRAM than I do. So even though I have a 3060 Ti, mine's faster. It has a higher speed that it can go. Yours has more VRAM. So if we both bought The Last of Us, the PC port, your frame rate is going to be so much better than mine. So much better. Even though when we play something like Deep Rock or Overwatch or Payday 2, my frame rate is probably going to be a little bit faster than yours, like matching settings. That has to do with the VRAM, because mine's going to get slowed down because there's not enough room in VRAM to do all the stuff that it needs to do to run the game, where there is enough room on your card. But as long as we both have the room for it on our cards, Deep Rock, Payday 2, Master Chief Collection, Halo Infinite, whatever we're playing, mine's going to be a little bit faster because that's the difference between a 3060 and a 3060 Ti, right? Which just gets confusing when you're just trying to play your games. If you're just a consumer who wants to play your dang games, figuring out the difference between a 3060 Ti and a 3060 12 gig, and then you also have NVIDIA in the mix and an AMD in the mix, and you're like, I don't even know what's happening, and I need to buy all these components, and I can save $300 if I just get like a shittier CPU, like all this stuff. It gets way confusing way fast. Competition is good. The confusing part isn't that there's a lot. There should be a lot, and that's always going to be a little bit confusing. The problem is what you need to be paying attention to, because that changes over time. Because for the past history, oh my god, Borden! You're the consumer who has zero clue. Hi, Borden, good to see you. Yeah, the consumer has zero clue, and it sucks because you need people like me who are paying attention. Always impressed by how much I know. Thank you. It is not by accident. It is absolutely on purpose. It's a thing that I spend a lot of time keeping up with, right? And it's easy for me to keep up with it because I like it. It's so interesting to me. And so keeping up with it isn't a chore. But I know that for a lot of people it is. It's an absolute chore. And so one of the things that I really like to do, especially for my friend group, is help them navigate it. Um, because if you're gonna be putting your money down for a product, I don't want you to get a shitty thing. I want you to get a good thing. And I don't just mean that for my friends, I mean that for like everybody. I don't have the reach that someone like Jason from PC Builder has. He's put in the frickin' work and he makes amazing content. In fact, he's one of the people that I get my info from, right? On like what's good versus what's not good. He's one of my sources. And so it's really important that everybody making content in this space, LTT, Jace2Cents, PC Builder, Hardware Canucks, Craft Building, like all these people, that they keep doing what they're doing, because the more voices that are out there helping clarify what's important and what's important for different use cases is so important. Because a problem that I've been running into is I want a GPU for my home server. I know that's really stupid, but I am pretty sure that I need it if I want to be able to run Titanfall 2 servers for the custom North Star browser. Because I need a DX11 compatible graphics card, and it's not even going to put any load on it. It just needs to be able to initialize DirectX 11, and it needs the graphics card to do that. It's just a thing. I'm not big-brained enough to figure out a workaround for that. I'm just reading the guides. I'm reading the FAQs. I'm reading the necessary requirements on the website. And they're saying that I need a DirectX 11 capable GPU. But my server runs 24/7. It's a Dell Optiplex. It's right down there. Let me see. No, that's going to fuck up the whole camera. I'm not doing it. There's a Dell Optiplex down there that's running my entire home server. It's running my Plex server, and it's running my torrent manager. I don't want it to suck back power all day long. I want it to be like efficient with the power that it's using. There are things I could do to optimize that I haven't done. It's whatever. For the amount of effort that I've put into it, I think it's an acceptable amount of power use that it draws. But if I put like a used gaming GPU in there, it's going to be sucking back too much power, and I don't have the power hookups for it. For the power supply that's on there, the motherboard is proprietary along with a lot of the chassis connections. So doing a power supply upgrade to be able to run PCIe power to a graphics card, it's just going to be a mess. And I know for some of you, like Borden, I'm talking another language right now. But this is exactly what I'm talking about, because for me, if I'm going to someone like Jason with PC Builder, he focuses on gaming stuff. So his recommendation for GPUs is different it's for a different use case than I need. But for all of my friends that I help like make sure that they're putting their money in good places when they're trying to do gaming stuff, his advice is way more pertinent to their needs. Whoa, autofocus. I'm coming back. Maybe. Hello, find me. I'm right here. Do you see me? Do you see me? Wow, the autofocus. Hey, it found me. Okay, cool. We're set. We're back. I don't need the same kind of GPU that a gamer needs. And I am a gamer, so I already have that GPU. I need a different one for my server. And it's very difficult to find good information out there for what I need, because a lot of outlets are focused on the gaming side of things. It's what a lot of the content is made for. It's what a lot of the information is presented for, which isn't a bad thing. It's a very like good thing for the consumer market. But the reason we need more voices out there saying stuff. Oh, goodbye, Nick. Thank you so much for being. Oh wait, I'm saying goodbye about my camera. Sorry, there's enough of a delay that it's a little bit confusing. It's all better now. We're set. yeah, it's important that people create the content around what's useful for them, because it means that people are able to make better choices for what they need and spend their money most efficiently. And that's important. That's a really like good thing. That's an important thing. So that's my little baby rant on PC hardware. Is that it's confusing and that's dumb, but it's also kind of necessary. But also people should make people should share their experiences about what they have, because if everyone's doing that, then it's easier to understand what's important to invest in and what's not. That's the bow. That's the bow I'm putting on this. Good stuff. Oh yeah, Nick's been here. Sorry. Chat doesn't stay forever for everyone. So yeah, we have Nick and Borden. It's literally just a Discord party. Discord party for another 20 minutes. I think those are the only two people in chat with me right now. But yeah, so unfortunately you will not be saved in the VOD because I can't get stream elements to hold on to my YouTube chat, which should be like right here. When I'm on Twitch, it works, but not on YouTube. Womp womp. So that's my rant on PC hardware. It's confusing right now. It's hard to know if you should upgrade, and it's hard to know what you should put your money towards. But that's why people like me are here for my friend group, because I can listen to what your needs are, and I can know a little bit better like what you actually want to do with it to find you the right piece of kit. In fact, I've been here longer. But you've been the person. You've been here since the start. Hello. You were the ghost that I was talking to. Hello, thank you for being here. The numbers helped, and they meant a lot to me. Oh, that's so funny. Thank you. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here the whole time. That really tickles me. Oh, good stuff. Oh, I like my friends. I like my friends a lot. Oh, good stuff. But yeah, we've got Borden and Nick in the chat. If this makes it onto YouTube as its own distinct bit, that you are a ghost. If this makes it onto YouTube as its own distinct bit, then you too can be a ghost in my chat that I'm fucking like rambling to. If you also want to be in the chat, good stuff. Yeah, welcome. We do this every Friday. At least that's the goal. That's the goal. Oh boy, I know that everybody in the Discord's been having a blast playing Overwatch recently to pump up the Thank you. I do appreciate it, especially after all the streams that I've been doing to 0 people. True streamer W squad pulling up. See, I've got good friends. They're nice to me. But yeah, the last handful of streams, like to Twitch especially, have been to 0 viewers. Which is why we're back on YouTube. I did not expect to have people in the chat on YouTube, but I just prefer YouTube as a platform for both watching and streaming compared to Twitch, so that's why we're back here. Love Overwatch, hate Overwatch. True. Even back when I played, it was the same thing. But a lot of it recently, yeah. Yeah, like the whole group, like Hoodin, Steve, like everyone's been playing a ton of it recently and saying that they're having a lot more fun than usual. Yeah, I'm excited. I think we're trying to set up another podcast with me, Hoodin, and Steve, where we're gonna kind of catch up. Worst game that I play frequently. Yeah, true. It's the best worst game. We've been trying to set up a podcast for us to talk about that because Hayden still plays. Steve has been playing a lot recently, but I no longer play. I uninstalled the game. Yeah, so we'll probably end up talking about that in a podcast that we will post, and then I can talk about that more for the channel as well. But yeah, it's rough. It's really rough because I still really love the game. Yeah, it's hard because like the Overwatch League is gonna die. I don't know if y'all heard the news, but long story short, all the franchise teams are basically going to be offered $6 million to. She recovered. I recovered. Who recovered? Maybe I recovered. Um. Yeah, Overwatch League is going to die. All the franchise teams are going to be offered 6 mil to leave if they don't sign the new contract for how it's going to be going. And though all the orgs have been bleeding money, like millions of dollars of money. So being able to get out and get 6 mil, it's a no-brainer. So Overwatch League is gonna die, which is rough. There's already been a lot of layoffs within the Blizzard side of the esports scene rather than the org side. It's not looking good. So because I liked to interact with Overwatch as a sport, like the same way that people like to like play basketball, right? Not everyone who plays basketball is trying to go pro. But a lot of people who play basketball care about the league. And it's the same thing with me. And so it's just rough. It's rough because I really like the game at a highly competitive level, but I don't see a future for that side of Overwatch, and that's really rough because that's how I like to play it. That's how I like to play it is with intensity. And I just don't think that the developers are going to be supporting that way of interacting with the game. Oh, sorry, that was probably loud. Moving forward, kind of pushing it more towards the casual side of things. Willow's going to be screaming at this cat on the fence. You guys might get to hear that. But yeah, it's rough. I didn't leave the game because I was mad. I didn't leave the game because I'm trying to take a principled stand. I left the game because it was making me upset. Because I like to engage with it in a very like serious and deep way, and so when there's like patches and stuff coming out that go in a direction that I don't really agree with, like I get it because it's their game, and especially like if they're like, no, this is our vision and we're moving towards this, and I disagree with the vision, I can still like respect the patches. But when they don't even have a vision for what they're trying to build and they're just patching and making it worse all the time, I just it's really upsetting, and I can't I have a very difficult time like handling that emotionally. Because it just makes me frustrated every time I go to play the game. Which sucks because I started this whole channel to play the game. Ah, God, I started the channel, and then okay, yeah, there she goes. She's going crazy. There's a cat on the fence. Can you hear her? Maybe. No, you couldn't hear her that time. But so it's a really awkward time to be able to like, yeah, I'm not playing the game anymore. I'm done playing the game after I made a whole channel to be a content creator for the game and to advocate for the game and to continue to add my voice to maybe move the game in the direction that I want it to move in. And it's all gone. I'm not doing that anymore because I don't think that that's what the developers are working towards. Womp womp. But that doesn't mean that I'm not really happy and like really glad that my friends who are still playing it are having a lot of fun. That makes me very happy. Because I want people to have fun playing the game. I want that. And and there's zero, like, I don't want the game to fail. I want the game to do well. I just had to like give myself some emotional distance by not investing any more like time into the game. I still end up keeping up with the patches because I'm sick in the head. But yeah, that's why I don't play anymore, and that's why this channel is to like pivot into a new direction. So that's weird. Weird and a little embarrassing. But what are you gonna do? Let's see. We got 15 more minutes. Let's see, what are we at? Yeah, 15-ish more minutes of doing a stream. Because, oh, Borden, I don't know if you heard. I don't know, maybe I'll make it a YouTube vid. I feel like I put a good bow on it earlier. The goal is we're doing this for 4 months. You kind of want it to fail? You want to move over to Paladins? Is that your dream? You want us all to move over to Paladins? Yeah, the deal that I made with myself recently is that if I can keep up with the streams and the content, like just getting stuff out there, if I can keep up with that until November, then I'm gonna let myself invest some time into being a little bit more active in communities that I really like and kind of want to be more a part of. Because what I usually do is like I consume a lot of this person's content and I'm like, TF2, yeah, you want to, is that Team Fortress 2 or Titanfall 2? They're both TF2. TF2, who didn't got it? Team Fortress 2? I'm assuming Team Fortress. I'm pretty sure y'all are talking about Team Fortress. Gordon told me yesterday that he does not have Titanfall. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Vine Boom Sound. I'm pretty sure it's Team Fortress. That's fine. But yeah, if I can keep up with posting videos, doing at least 2 hours of stream a week until November, then I'm gonna let myself either TBH True. Oh my god, I love North Star. If I can keep up with this until November, then I'm gonna let myself kind of engage with those communities a little bit more to try and grow within and alongside those communities. Fortress, because I don't have Titanfall. Yeah, I knew it. I remembered. Because yeah, this is fun. This is for me. This is never gonna be my full-time job. But yeah, that's the plan. Maybe you might be able to get me to play Team Fortress. Actually, you might be able to get me on that one. The delay is The delay is kind of schnasty. I'm on normal delay for YouTube. Back when I played Overwatch, the delay was smaller. The delay was smaller, but the stream quality goes down a little bit, but it's not a big deal. I think I usually went with the stream key approach to having it work through OBS, but this time I like logged in through OBS. I'm gonna go back to stream key. I just liked it better. Team Fortress 2. Nick is playing Team Fortress 2. Wow. Team Fortress 2 mention. Wow, another viewer. Hi. I'm so glad you're here. Who is it? Borden and Nick, go ahead and give him a hi in chat. Let him know that this is a cool place to be. Hi, I'm so glad you made it. It's Friday. Congratulations, it's Friday. Whoever this mysterious third viewer is, I do apologize. I'm going to be ending stream soon. Not right now, but soon. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Average view duration. Hi, yay! Thank you so much, Borden. Yeah, a whole new viewer. So good to have you here. I am so sorry about the delay. It is quite long. This is YouTube's normal delay. Sorry. You get to hear my dog going off again. I'm just gonna leave her outside until stream ends. Margot Jones, hello. Please save us. You're bound here, Nicolad. Hi, Margot. How's it going? How's work? That's so fun. We've got only people I know in chat. How fun. Yeah, the delay is actually kind of gnarly. I hope you're having a wonderful day at work. You can probably hear Willow barking at the cat in the backyard. And just so that you know, I'm a good noodle. I am ending stream in approximately 10 minutes so that I can get to some chores before going into Paso. But this is my 2 hours of stream a week on the Fridays. I will save you. I know where to find her. She's gonna come get me. No. She knows where I live. She's gonna come get me. It's so good to see you. This is a very fun chat. Hello, chat. It's good to have all of you here. Yeah, it's genuinely very nice to have all of you here, and this is making me very happy inside, very warm and fuzzy. So I very much appreciate it. We'll see if everyone jumping into chat becomes a YouTube segment. Now I really need to get Stream Elements working with my YouTube chat, especially if I'm going to be streaming here most of the time. We shall see. We shall see. This is very nice. This is lovely. Wow. Those are the biggest numbers I've ever seen on a stream of mine. By the way, those are big numbers. I wonder. I don't think that'll have any information I shouldn't share. I'll just take a screenshot. Take a screenshot and crop it down so that I can show you all how exciting these numbers are. Crop it down, crop it down. YouTube Studio. Great. And then will it let me paint? Great. Great. I'm gonna save that. Okay. And then I could show you guys this probably. Play TF2 with me. I only have a couple more minutes of stream. Borden's gonna have to play with you. Borden's gonna have to play. Here, let me see if I can just. I want to capture a thing. I want to add a thing. Window capture. Ooh, window capture. Scrap. Snipping tool. Yeah, sure. Oh, it does not like capturing snipping tool. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, here. We'll oh, that's very funny. Eventually, though, Nick, let's do it. Oh, no, you can't. Why can't? Sag. Here, we'll do that. Do that. You guys might even be able to get me to play. I will be the most super noob imaginable, though. I've never played TF2. Team Fortress. I played lots of Titanfall, but never Team Fortress. Properties. Yeah, nope, not that one. Not that one. Okay, it does not like it. I can't get it to show you guys. I'm so sorry. But yeah, the numbers are very large today. Very large today, and that's very cool. I've never had numbers so big. But once and you don't remember it. That's okay. We'll have Nick show us the ropes. Ah, amazing. You just have me on in the background, Margot? Just came in to say hi, or are you on your lunch? Because if you're on your lunch, that's very late, and you should have taken your lunch a long time ago. Another hydration check for the chat. Water is hydration, not coffee. Coffee is not hydration. Amazing. I think. Oh, I don't think I've said this out loud to Margot. Excuse me. Gross. Sorry, Nick. Sorry, Borden. You guys get to hear this for the second and third time, respectively. This is my background activity. Nice. Just like being home. You just oh, because when you're at home, you just hear me in the Discord with everyone that's already here. Now you get to be a part of it. Yeah. No, the deal that I've made myself is that there's not really a good way to organically grow on a lot of these platforms like YouTube and Twitch. Like Drew Gooden did the whole thing where he couldn't even grow on Twitch, right? So, it seems like, just like being at home, it seems like the best way to actually like get numbers to go up is to kind of attach yourself to another community and like kind of grow within it and then alongside it, right? And a lot of the people that I think are really cool, oh my god, the people that I think are really cool and have interesting communities that I want to be a part of, I lurk. Like I watch their content and I sometimes engage in the comment section, but I don't like I'm not really a big part of their community. But they'll recognize some of their smaller content creator friends. Gonna give them a little recognition, a little bit of a bump, like especially when it comes to like their ending stream, and they'll like have they'll either restream someone up on their stream or they'll send everyone over to another person's stream, right? Like that seems to be one of the best ways to actually like get numbers to grow up is that networking. And I like the life that we've built, and I don't want to spend more time on this than I already spend on it. But the deal that I made to myself is that if I can keep up with the 2-hour stream a week and the at least 2 YouTube videos a month, if I can keep up with that until November, then I'll let myself invest a little bit more time into being a part of those communities to try and grow this a little bit so that my average viewer numbers are not 0. This stream is a huge outlier, and I do really love it. And this stream is a huge outlier. So I'm fine with the 0 numbers if I'm not taking this that seriously. This will never ever be a replacement for like a full-time job or anything. But like, because like very like it takes a long time and a lot of work and like a lot of dedication to get it to that point, and I'm not willing to do that. This isn't my passion. Like I don't want to be a YouTuber. That's not what I aspire to be. It's just like cool to like do these streams every now and then. So if I can keep up with that until November, then I'll let myself try to like network a little bit more and integrate into those communities and try to get a little bit more growth. But if I can't keep up with that, then we just keep it at this size, this pace, this intensity, you know? And part of the reason that the thing for that is November is that I will have had to have gotten a job by that point. Like we've talked about, if I don't have like a job that I'm passionate about and will bring me like fulfillment, but I think we said like September, August or something like that. Um, then I'll have to pick up like a Subway Vons type deal, right? Like a regular paycheck. And November is after that. So I will have had to keep that up through either getting a job that I do care about or a job that I don't care about. Um yeah, that's the little handshake deal that I made with myself. I've talked about this a lot with like Steve and Nick and stuff when I'm doing my Uber deliveries. And yeah, that's kind of the little deal that I've made with myself. So sorry if that's your first time hearing it. um yeah. It's just because we're doing this for fun. If we're not having fun, then why are we doing it? You know? Goodness gracious. That coffee is really sticking to me. My recommendation is to spam other people's comments and do iPad giveaways. We only have one iPad to give away. How can I do iPad giveaways with one iPad? Unless I'm scamming. Or you win the iPad giveaway every time. Marco's got good ideas. Maybe she needs to be my content manager. What do you guys think? I think that could be good. People do love that. Alrighty. Well, it is after 2. We have been streaming for 2 hours. It is time for me to go do my chores and get ready to go into Paso. I know the delay is huge. So now that I've said that, I'll wait for if people are reacting. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, everyone. You, Margot, I really did not expect that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being in the chat. And if nothing else, I will see you guys next week. Same time. Nice. Maybe for longer. Maybe I'll get to do a longer stream next Friday because I won't have to go anywhere. Who knows? There's Willow. Thank you so much for being here and making the number go up. It really did mean a lot. A small fee? I can handle a small fee. I can handle a small fee. I think it'll be worth it. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being here. Happy Friday. We made it. I hope your weekend is lovely, and I will see you here next week. Same time, same channel. Thank you so much. Goodbye.